This video. This video is sponsored by. You see it, the Twister. Twisters was directed by Lee Isaac Chung and released in theaters this weekend. The film stars Glen Powell, Daisy Edgar Jones, Anthony Ramos, David Corenswet, Katie O'Brien's in there. There's a lot of names that I knew in this one. I was surprised. This is from, obviously, Lee Isaac Chung, who did Minari back in 2020 with A24. Great film, was nominated for Best Picture, and now he is back to do this disaster film sequel. I will say I haven't seen the first movie because when I heard that you didn't necessarily have to watch it to watch this one, I was like, alright, I'll save it, I'll watch it some other time, but I do want to watch this one. Because I like Glen Powell. We talked about him last month with Hitman. Daisy Edgar Jones, if you haven't seen the movie Fresh, she's really good in that, and I still need to watch her in Where the Crawdads Sing, I think is the movie that she was in. Anthony Ramos, I've always liked him, like In the Heights and stuff like that. He's done a lot of good musical things as well. And I think that this movie was a really, really, really fun time. So I'm going to just preface this with the fact that if you haven't seen Twisters, then definitely we'll have a spoiler section. It'll be small though, but definitely click off before that point because we're gonna get into spoilers, and there's some twistery, spoilery goodness in there. And I honestly wasn't expecting to like this as much as I did. I thought this was gonna be kind of forgettable. I was really looking forward to seeing what they were gonna do with the fact that like this is a disaster movie, okay? There's been plenty of movies that do this kind of thing, and you think it's been done to death, but I am actually happy to say this movie did some really creative things. There is a twister that twists its way towards our main characters. It twists in between, some fire, so it's a fiery twister. I was trying to say twist in like 10 seconds. I was like trying to find out how many ways I can say twister. But anyway, that's stupid. But you get like fire twisters, you get the twin twisters, and in this movie the characters are actually figuring out how they can take out twisters, and they are trying to chase them and hunt them down and destroy them, because if you feel it, chase it! That's what Glen Powell's character, Tyler Owens, says in the film. I had to wear the cowboy hat because Glen Powell whips it out a few times in this movie, which was pretty fun. I really like the story that we're telling with Daisy Edgar Jones' character, where you get in the beginning this thing that happens to her that kind of traumatizes her and kind of moves her away from, being out there in the field trying to pursue these tornadoes, and she's brought in on this mission, and she kind of tries to give it her all to kind of make up for what happened in the beginning. We'll get into that during the spoilers, but overall, I think Twisters is really fun. It has its slower moments, and really, it's not so much as a complaint as much as just a compliment, because the Twister sequences are so entertaining, because the sound design is awesome, the music is adding to it as well, and, you just love seeing these big, epic, scale tornadoes heading towards, buildings and tearing it up. Obviously, I'm not making light of that when it happens in real life. It's terrible, but in this movie, you kind of gotta let yourself have some fun with that and be like, yeah, let's see some destruction. Let's see how many of these characters are gonna make it out alive. And I was invested in that portion of the story. Now, I don't know if this is just me, but I was more so saying, like, instead of saying, oh, I hope Tyler Owens doesn't die, I'm hoping Glen Powell doesn't die. So I wasn't attached to the characters on that level, like, not like a deep level, even though I do feel for Daisy Edgar Jones' character, Kate. I felt for her. But I was more so like, oh yeah, I'm ready to see Glen Powell run away from some tornadoes, some twisters. But nonetheless, guys, seriously, go check out Twisters. I think it's worth your time. It's a very fun time at the movies. Definitely, you want to go for a theater experience for this one, just to experience that sound design, that wind whipping, all of the destruction, the debris flying and stuff like that. It's very thrilling. It keeps you on your edge of your seat. So, definitely check out Twisters. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10, only for, like, those small moments where it's like, it feels like it's dragging a little bit. Did it have to be 2 hours? Not really. They could have shortened it down a little bit. There's some scenes in there that I don't think needed to be quite as long as they did. So, we're going to get into spoilers here. I'll see you guys there. let's go. So, entering the spoilers, the thing that I'm talking about at the beginning that kind of sets this all into motion for Kate, Daisy Edgar Jones's character, is that Kate goes out with 3 of her friends. You got Anthony Ramos, four of her friends. You got Anthony Ramos's character, Javi. You've got her boyfriend and 2 other friends, and they are trying to hunt down this twister, and see what kind of data they can get on it, because I believe it's for a project for school. And things do not go well. The twister the twister sucks away all of her friends, well, except for Anthony Ramos's character, because he's off to the side doing, like, the technical aspect of it. But the 3 friends that went with Kate to do the actual, like, engaging with the twister, they regret it, because that twister speeds up, it's heading towards them. They're getting hit with all kinds of stuff. They've got a trailer on the back with this device that sends up little things to get the twister going. I don't know the technicalities of all of that. But, they try to get the twister going, and it definitely works, because that twister comes straight for them. It's throwing debris everywhere. They're crashing. They're, rocking back and forth. They're like, we need to go. And while they're running, whoop, one of them goes, and then another one falls, and she goes, and then finally the boyfriend is hanging on with Kate, but ultimately he is swept up by the twister as well and killed, which that deeply affects Kate, because they were out there for something that had to do with her. They wouldn't have been out there if she hadn't asked them to be out there with her. And, you gotta feel for her there. She obviously wasn't expecting it to be that bad, to go that poorly, or else she wouldn't have done it. But she loves this. She has a passion for researching these twisters. And, Tyler Owens, Glenn Powell's character, I feel like he really sees that, and he does, even though he is very cocky and kind of, playing off of her banter that they have in the first and second act. He sees that emotional core to her, and he finds out what happens, and he's like, oh wow, like I'm really sorry, because for a lot of the movie he is like not really antagonizing her, but like they are part of 2 separate groups that are going after these twisters, and he wants to get the footage, so he's trying to like throw her off the scent, but she's sometimes doing better than him, and that kind of makes him like, oh wow, I need to kind of improve my game a little bit before this girl gets the best of me. But after he sees that, he kind of reconciles with her, and he's like, I'm sorry for what happened, and he teams up with her to get the footage of the twister, and actually, no, sorry, they don't get footage of the twister. They want to eliminate this big twister that's coming towards them, because it tears everything up. I mean, people are getting, they're hanging on for dear life. People are getting sucked up there. Cars are going. Everything is happening. It's craziness. But they eventually do take care of the twister, and it was a happy ending. And Kate leaves, but right as she's about to leave, Glenn Powell's character's like, you know what? I feel it. I gotta chase it. And he goes after her, and they presumably get together, and the movie ends. But if this movie does get a second, or if this movie gets another movie, honestly, bring them back. I would love to see it. I mean, if they wanted to keep doing the standalone stuff, they can. But I wouldn't be opposed to more of these characters, because this is a standalone story. There's nothing referencing the original, really. There's apparently the Dorothy device that they use at the beginning is a reference to the first one, but I don't know. It's kind of lost on me. But yeah, that's where I'm going to end it here for this review for Twisters. It was a very fun time. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. I liked the cast and everything. Like I said, the visuals, the cinematography, the sound design, all of that was awesome. Very well done there. Slows down a little bit in portions, but that's mainly a compliment to the thrilling sequences with the Twisters. So when you get a thrilling sequence and then you get a quieter moment, of course you're going to feel a little bit of lag. So ultimately, I have to request that you go see Twisters. Go twist on into the theater. Get some popcorn, twist some butter in there, and sit back and watch Twisters. Next week, I'm very excited because we got Deadpool and Wolverine. I've already got my tickets. I'm seeing it in 3D, and I'm hyped. So, if you don't mind, I'm feeling the hype, so I'm going to go chase it. Take care, guys. Goodbye.